Around 7 years back, I crossed paths with my future wife. Interestingly, this encounter happened entirely by chance during a lunch break. She caught my eye right away with her simplicity and integrity. A small-town girl who didn't drink or smoke. What a gem for a guide, right? To cut a long story short, things between us moved swiftly, and within half a year, we tied the knot. The wedding was an intimate affair, with just her folks and a single close friend in attendance. It struck me as unusual and unexpected, but she explained she only wished to celebrate with those dearest and most trustworthy to her heart. Even though it seemed a tad odd, I chose not to make a fuss and went along with her wishes. After we tied the knot, things went swimmingly between us. She never poked her nose into my work and quietly managed home affairs. Whenever I was stressed about something, she had my back. All in all, our family life was picture perfect, without any drama or ongoing quarrels. We were blessed with a son who was 5 years old. She decided not to return to the workforce post-maternity leave and dedicated herself wholly to our little one. She ferried him to school and his various activities, whipped up delicious meals, and was always there to greet me when I got home. Yet, she didn't let herself go or fit the stereotype of a frazzled homemaker. Instead, she remained stunning and dignified. Her circle of people consisted solely of her mom and her one close pal. On a typical morning over breakfast, she casually mentioned, "In 3 days, I'm heading to my folks. There's a school reunion, and I figured I'd drop by." I found myself caught off guard and blurted out, "Really? You hardly ever mix with your old classmates." "True, I haven't been in touch, but I've decided to attend this time, and I don't think it's an issue," she retorted. "Sure, there's no harm in it. It just strikes me as somewhat odd and out of the blue," I admitted. She countered, "After all these years, I should be able to pop into an event, don't you think?" All right, no worries then. If you're set on it, by all means, go ahead." I conceded. She seemed in need of a good chat, even if just once in a while. Plus, our boy would be staying with his grandparents, and that settled that. Even though her sudden choice weighed on me, I didn't protest or cling. Instead, I let her go. A whole day has passed since our meeting, and still there was no news from her. My calls were met only with silence. In a fit of anxiety, I turned to her parents, but found no solace there either. Their line of communication was also silent. To be honest, my anxiety began to grow, although I did not suspect that this was a dishonest game. However, the truth turned out to be shockingly mundane: infidelity. Just 2 days after this meeting, I received a call from a woman who identified herself as the wife of a classmate of my wife. She said that she had infiltrated the family and begged them to take her away before the whole city was engulfed in scandal. After finding out the exact location of their house, I hurried to get there as quickly as possible. As soon as I entered, I was glad that she was alone in the apartment at that time. Otherwise, I could have been prosecuted for attacking her boyfriend. Tears streamed down her face as she begged for my forgiveness, claiming that she never meant to do me any harm. Meanwhile, I looked through her phone, carefully studying each message. The revelations were completely shocking. It turned out that she had been secretly communicating with him for more than 2 months, discussing purely personal issues. Well, she finally crossed the line, and there was no way I was going to let it slide without a second thought. I headed over to her folks' place and brought my son back with me. They tried to get me to simmer down and take pity on them. With all the rumors flying around, honestly, I couldn't care less. All that small-town chit-chat and judgment can stay right there, targeted at her. Let her deal with those busybodies and nosy neighbours. We ended up getting a divorce, and my son stayed with me. It was tough in the beginning, but eventually the storm of emotions settled, and we started to really connect. As for her, she ended up in a pretty sorry state. Her obsessive love just devastated her. Now she's bunking with her parents. She barely steps out, seldom sees our son, yet she hasn't stopped trying to claw her way back to me. Betrayal is something I just can't sweep under the rug. I'm not the type to wear the horns and zip my lips for years on end. And just like that, our supposed idyllic family life came to a screeching halt.